let's get started. Okay, so officially welcome once again to this session. We have a power-packed agenda today. So as I said, this is not a live webinar as such. I'm not going live on YouTube. This is just our FinStreet community ka Q&A. One thing I love about our community is the constant question and answers curiosity that keeps on showing up. And not just that, the status of CMA, its value that gets challenged every other day. I get quite fascinated by that. So I thought, chalo, let's have a session. And main agenda of the session is to explain where is the exact position of US CMA in finance ecosystem, and what kind of profiles, roles CMA can target. I'll have a 20-minute monologue where I'll explain and take votes. Then we'll get started with the Q&A part. Sure. See, when we talk about finance ecosystem or career in finance as a whole, when I say finance, there are usually two verticals that we can derive out of it. One vertical is around the capital market side of things. When I say capital market, I'll give you a very simple explanation of this. Imagine that you are someone who's managing capital, means you have $100 with you. Now, by analyzing all the risks in the market and also analyzing all the return in the market, what decisions can you take to invest this? And also get returns out of it. That's why this segment is called as investment management. Investment management. So what kind of theory or what kind of, let's say, concepts are covered over here? One thing you will learn is economics in depth. Agar economics aa raha hai, along with that, you will have mathematics, or to be very specific, statistics, quantitative aptitude that will be tested. And major focus will be on products. Now, what are products? These are investment products. See, we are talking about investment management. So where can you invest? You can invest through equity, you can invest through debt, you can invest through derivatives, you can invest through a number of products. But this is complete investment management. Now, if you see the approach part, what approach are you taking? You are assuming yourself as an investor. So you are not jumping inside a business. के business के अंदर costing कैसे चल रहा है? How costing works, how planning, budgeting works. You are not focusing on that. Imagine that one financial year is over. Now the reports are in front of you. And now you will analyze and take a call that should I invest or not. You will analyze the business, but from an investor perspective, you are not inside the business. So यहाँ पे अगर career करना है in investment management, and this kind of careers are usually in, let's say, mutual funds, hedge funds, investment banks, etc. Now, mutual funds, usually you have good scope in India. But if I talk about investment banks and hedge funds, very small industry. मतलब जो front end core investment banking rules रहते हैं, very limited in India. Majorly, you will see them in Mumbai and Gurgaon. Beyond that, very few roles. And यहाँ पर अगर career करना है, if you want to make your career over here, the best choice would be going ahead with CFA or CMA Part 2. Just introduces you to all these concepts. That's why I usually say CMA Part 2 overlaps with Level 1 completely and some part of Level 2. But if you want to go in investment management side of things, then CFA would be the right choice. Now let's come to business finance, another segment which is called as business finance. यहाँ पर the approach changes. Now you are not thinking from an investor perspective. This is not the approach. Now you're thinking from CFO of a business perspective. So you have taken a businessman ka hat on your head. And within this approach, what kind of roles do you need to play to run a business? Well, usually 3 roles only. 3 ही काम होते हैं, which finance overall department has to take care of. First one is you're starting your business, so you will have to raise your capital. So you will have part of corporate finance to be taken care of. This again lightly overlaps with what is covered over here. Second role is once the capital is raised, now you need to deploy that capital. And when we talk about deploying that capital, how do you start? You start with certain strategy in place. According to that strategy, you will make a plan. Along with that plan, you will make a budget. Along with that budget, you will go ahead with costing. After costing, you will go ahead with pricing. After pricing, you will go ahead with the launch or let's say operations of a business. As I was saying, first role is raising capital. Second part is deploying capital. Third part is now reporting. But this reporting, I'm not talking about the usual P&L reporting, balance sheet reporting. Here, the focus is more on performance reporting. Performance reporting, along with performance reporting, you have some, let's say, due diligence, basic level reporting around verification. And after this, you have some level of, let's say, performance, but from profitability analysis perspective. So I'll revise one more time. You have raising capital, deploying capital, and reporting. So these are the three functions: raising capital, deploying capital, and then reporting. If you want to make a career over here, then CMA would be the best choice, or the closest competition given for these rules is usually through MBA candidates. Here as well, you have MBA candidates who give a close competition. But in MBA finance, but MBA पे बाद में आते, because MBA in itself doesn't have any value. The college and the alumni base, unka support, that has its value. So this business finance would be the right choice for CMA. Investment management would be the right choice for CFA. Pratham, I'll just quickly wrap this up and then I'll come to you. So within finance, we have already discussed what is investment management. We have discussed what is business finance. As I said, 3 roles: capital raise karna, deploy karna, and then reporting. Now, beyond this, if you want to make a career, let me write the courses I've highlighted: CFA, CMA. Now, let's say you are interested in all this, but from compliance lens. When I say compliance, what are compliance? These are basically rules and regulations which are set by authorities, and those authorities are geography specific. So India ke alag authorities rahenge, US will have their own authorities, UK will have their own authorities. So when you want to work in all this, plus you want an added advantage of compliance, then to this whole curriculum, if you add tax, if you add audit, not the simple audit, but the regulatory audit, and you add reporting, not any reporting, the regulatory report, then you have courses like CA. Let me maintain the color scheme as well. Then you have courses like CA. This is for Indian market. You have ACCA. This is for European market. And then you have CPA, which is for US, Canada, and Australian market. This map should give you a complete idea that which course is now standing to cover which kind of rules. Again, if you observe, there is quite an overlap between this course and this course. So CMA, to maintain its edge, what it has done, it has a huge overlap with investment management as well. So CMA part 2 overlaps with capital markets as well. You are well aware what happens, let's say through debt, equity, derivatives and all. You can invest through it. Plus, they have maintained themselves as a core program in finance, which is best of both worlds, business finance and investment management. But if you're someone who's inclined towards this part, of course, these 3 courses would do justice to your requirement. I hope this gives you complete clarity around how to plan, certification and your journey. Now, last question I want to cover before I open the forum for Q&A. Combinations. See, there are some combinations which are beneficial, some combinations which are not beneficial at all. Let me start with the beneficial combinations. First is CMA. So your business finance is taken care of. Uske saath, you want to combine this for compliance rules. Because you want, let's say, plan B in place where you can also target tax, audit, reporting. Then in that case, according to the market you want, if you want European market, of course, you can target ACCA. If you're targeting US market, US, Australia, Canada assumed, CPA. And if you're targeting Indian market, then CA. Time being, I will keep CA in a different category because we are not discussing Indian courses for now. Now, the interesting benefit that you have is, see, ACCA has 3 levels. You have foundation, you have skills, and then you have professional. The funny part around this is I teach ACCA in a college right now. I'm teaching foundation subjects. I'm also teaching skill level subjects at a better level than, it's there in their textbook, because foundation level and skill level is very basic. So if you're someone who's a CMA, foundation level, skill level will be a cakewalk for you. Even if you study for a month, maximum 2 months, aap aaram se jaake you can crack foundation and skill level. It is only the professional level. I think 9 exams will be taken care of. So 4 exams, yeah, starting next year, 3 exams would be pending. So for that, you will have to study. So with or without exemptions, iska preparation ho jayega. The preparation will be taken care of. CPA, now I have heard mixed reactions around it. CPA has 4 subjects. But a lot of people say that after completing CMA, your 40 to 50% preparation is taken care of. But I haven't studied CPA, so I can't vouch or guarantee this. This is just on basis of reviews I've taken from CPA candidates. Okay, how much CMA has helped. 40% should be a safe bet to go ahead with. This can help you land, as I said, business finance roles plus compliance roles. Coming to CMA plus CFA. See, CFA goes into investment management. This goes into business finance, which means you are a complete professional in finance. So once you're a complete professional, high tier roles, or I would say cream layer roles in industry, which is a consultant role. This can be targeted well. But consultant comes under critical roles category. So of course, being a fresher, you have a 1-2 साल के experience, becoming a consultant is difficult. If you have both the courses, get at least 2 to 4 years of experience. Then, and that could be in a control role, due diligence role, any role, business analyst, associate role, and then target consultant role. So यहाँ पर also you have a good future ahead. यहाँ पर also you have a good future ahead. These are 2 good combinations. 3 good combinations rather. CMA, ACCA, CPA, and CFA. One combination that I never recommend is pursuing CMA with FRM. CMA goes completely into business. Production कैसा है, operations कैसा है, that kind of approach. FRM doesn't even touch business. It is going completely into just market analysis, credit analysis, and operational risk पे थोड़ा focus है, but major is into market and credit. It doesn't even cover equity. It starts with derivatives. Major part, 80% of the curriculum is just derivatives and bonds. So this is like a super specialization into products which is very risky, very risky. Equity को ये risky मानता ही नहीं है. Equity is not risky for FRM. And equity is actually risky. See, the bar is set very high for what is risk or what is risky. Derivatives extremely risky. Bonds, good amount of risk is there. So इस पर ही पूरा focus is there. So CMA, where you are, targeting production firm, service sector, and FRM, where you are targeting funds and investment banks, उसमें भी you are targeting risk के roles. Doesn't fit well. उसमें synergy नहीं है. So I wouldn't recommend you guys pursuing CMA with FRM, but again, it's a recommendation. You are free to do what you want. How I ended up doing these 2 courses, because I might sound hypocrite, but I was pursuing FRM because I wanted to learn derivatives. That was the only reason, silly reason. I pursued CMA because I got scholarship. वो भी मैं I won a competition के साथ scholarship मिल गया, and free में है तो कर लिया. After pursuing, then I got to know that these are poles apart, north, south, अलग-अलग pole है. There's no synergy as such. Later on, I pursued CFA, and that kind of helped me bridge either. But ठीक है. So that's the story around combinations. Now, I think my main agenda for the session is over. As I said, 7:30 तक हो जाएगा. So for next 20-30 minutes, let's start with Q&A. We'll have Q&A in 2 ways. Don't just unmute and speak up. It will be a bit chaotic. Either you can drop your question in the chat box or just raise your hand, and then I'll call out your name. Then you can unmute and speak up. Preferably raise your hand. Interactive is a better way of communicating. After all the questions are asked through audio, then I'll move to chat box. So I have Mithali over here. Mithali, go ahead.
सर, जैसे आपने बोला था कि मतलब CMA, FRM और उस मतलब कॉम्बिनेशंस में थोड़ा सा बोलते बहुत अपोजिट है, मतलब वो मार्केट में वर्क नहीं करते. पर इनकेस किसी को CMA नहीं करना होगा, जैसा किसी का फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन होगा, या अभी तो स्कॉलरशिप का जो ऑप्शन है वो भी हट गया है, तो इन दैट केस कुछ ऐसा कि 20 to 25,000 में कुछ ऐसा डेटा एनालिस्ट का कोर्स वगैरह हो जाए तो भी मार्केट में फिट हो सकते हैं क्या?
See, certification, it's something that helps you level up, but it is not a mandate. So, Mitali, if you are financially constrained, जो एक ज़माने में मैं भी था, start working. Because I just did one certification before graduation, और बाकी सारे certifications को मैंने अपने salary से fund किया है. So preferably then get a job. And ऐसा नहीं है कि freshers को job नहीं मिलते. It is more about कि चलो कम salary के इतने अच्छे jobs नहीं मिलते, but job तो मिल जाता है. So start earning, save up, and through that invest and learn something better.
Sir, can you explain the solar profiles in detail?
Profiles in detail. Okay. So let's start from FP&A. FP&A में क्या होता है? Usually there is something called as CFO team. CFO team sits with CEO and the rest of the strategy team, and they come up with कि चलो what is our plan for next year. This plan usually gets dictated by board of directors and C-suite folks. कि चलो next year we are targeting on growth. Next year we are targeting on cost cutting. Next year we are targeting on, let's say, acquisitions, and so on. जो भी target है, this is just a macro level thing. Within growth also there is product level growth, geographical growth, अलग अलग segments आते हैं. Once this is decided, CFO gets an idea. Okay, what needs to be done? So CFO comes ahead and he assembles different teammates. One is, let's say, from infra finance. One is from, let's say, budgeting team. One is from some other team, so on and so forth. All these usually are the CMA equivalent equipped candidates. मतलब जो CMA curriculum में होता है, all skills can be reflected in all these departments. So let's say infrastructure wise, what is required? So we will plan, and according to plan, they need to present a budget. Let's say you are talking about production. Within production, what will be required? So you will again go to inventory, you will again go to, let's say, production floor, you will again go to retail end. आप data collect करोगे, analyze करोगे, you will create your own report, and so on and so forth. Once these reports are created, then comes the part where you set up expectations. Once your reports are in place, okay, this is our budget. Once this budget is approved, as per the budget, there are some expectations set for end of the year. Now, throughout the year, you keep an eye on quarterly basis, on monthly basis, that budget and actual, how this data is behaving. Is our variance. Variance is difference between actual and expectation. So is variance higher or lower? Is variance because of price? Is variance because of labor efficiency? Is price because of a number of things? All this is being tracked. कि market में कुछ अलग चल रहा है, a number of things. And end of the year, once the variance report is ready, then you sit and you analyze, okay, what went wrong, what could be improved. All this happens in a typical team called as FP&A. And throughout this working, to make sure that कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं हो रही है, you need a team called as control team. Controllers होते हैं. Controllers क्या करते हैं? Monthly basis पे they will close your P&L. While closing your P&L, closing your balance sheet, they will do verification. Verification is type of an audit. Audit क्या होता है? You have one source of data, another source of data. Are things matching or not? If things are matching, well and good. If things are not matching, find out why they are not matching. तो फिर to match consolidation process आता है कि चलो difference को explain करो. So all this goes into control department. So that is second department. Third department goes into specifically reporting. Reporting में multiple types of reporting होते हैं. एक होता है जो CFO को जाता है, second होता है जो regulatory team को जाता है, and इसके लिए भी there is a quality assurance team that sits. I actually started my career as QA. I used to work in control for balance sheet, और वहां से फिर मैं QA में चला गया था, regulatory QA. But luckily we had lot of analytics tools. Data बहुत बड़ा था. So I ended up as a data analytics guy in a team. Did this help? This understanding क्या काम चलता है, कैसे चलता है?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I want to know the difference between reporting and compliance.
Reporting and compliance. Compliance is a subset. See, reporting can be a macro part. Reporting are of multiple types. One is performance reporting, where the focus is on how we have performed, profitability, expectation, actual. Regulatory reporting majorly focuses on what regulators want. तो regulators want your P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statement, so on. तो उसमें फिर आप देखोगे इंडिया में है इंडियन रेगुलेटर्स, फॉलो इंडियन गैप. यूएस में है फॉलो यूएस गैप. इंटरनेशनली है या यूरोप साइड थोड़ा IFRS चलता है तो फॉलो IFRS. आई वाज इन अ यूरोपियन बैंक, आई यूज्ड टू डू IFRS रिपोर्टिंग. 16 था हमारा. सो वो चलता है. सो दैट इज रेगुलेटरी रिपोर्टिंग. You have due diligence report as well. These are very similar to audit reports, but audit में you have to follow all the regulatory requirements. So due diligence is more of कि चलो एक investor है, उन्होंने भेज दिया कि सब सही से चल रहा है या नहीं, go and check. So that is due diligence. So small technically nitty gritties here and there, but more or less reports can be of n number of types. यार integrated reporting भी होता है, वहाँ पे sustainability add हो जाता है. So reporting is a bigger term. उसमें regulatory reporting is a subset. जो IFRS, US GAAP वगैरह आता है, वो regulatory reporting में आता है. Did that help, Naman?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Gautam.
So one thing is that currently I'm working in one of the big four. So I did my MBA. So is it a good combination doing MBA with CMA? And I have few other questions as well regarding that. Actually, I'm looking for the finance role. I'm working in tax role now, and majorly in finance. I'm specifically interested in FP&A and financial analyst role.
Mhm.
So then, regarding the course duration, just I wanted to know how many years will it take to complete this, or then what are the salary expectation which I could expect. So could you throw some light on this?
Okay. So यहाँ पे let's talk about what are your expectations coming out of CMA, because if you are falling out of this category, then preferably don't go. Expectation wise, there are major expectations and some minor expectations, or let me call it benefit. Better way of putting it. See, benefits wise, if I talk about major, there are only two. First is salary, and second is growth or promotion. Let me build a trajectory. If you are going beyond this trajectory, then salary might not be the benefit for you, because as I know, Big Four give good salaries, but it depends. आप Indian arm में काम कर रहे हो या global arm में काम कर रहे हो. Global arm pays really well. जैसे EY का GDS pays better than in EY India. KPMG also KGS pays well rather than KPMG India. So in terms of salary, if your experience is less than 2 years and if you're already earning 4 to 6, then salary wise, CMA won't give you any additional benefit as such. If you're between 2 and 5 years of experience, and let's say your salary is between 6 and 10, थोड़ा broader range दे रहा हूँ. But if you fall into this category, not necessary, CMA will give you a lot of benefit again for salary perspective. If you have more than 5 years of experience and your salary is let's say between 10 and 15, more or less 1 lakh per month in hand, then again CMA will not give you as such benefit in terms of salary. Then comes the growth part or promotion part. Within promotion part, see, I'll give you two interesting stories. This week itself, I had two candidates who are 40, 45 years of old. They came in and they said, Aditya, we have everything. We have, 10, 15 years of experience. We have MBA in place. We have this and that, but we don't have a professional certification. And now we feel that we are somewhat having a constraint or limitation in terms of growth. We don't know how to perform better, how to analyze better, or how to keep up with the incoming trends, new trends. So in that case, chalo, if you want to build some expertise, यहाँ पर I have a very simple term for you: subject matter expertise. कि चलो फाइनेंस में करियर करना है, सो आई नीड टू नो फाइनेंस इनसाइड आउट, नॉट जस्ट रिगार्डिंग माई रोल, बिकॉज यू गेट इन टू अ बिग फोर, आपके ट्रेनर ने, आपके जो मेंटोर है, मैनेजर है, उन्होंने जितना काम सिखाया, यू नो दैट थ्रू MBA. I know what you learn out of MBA. You get just introduced to terms, you don't build expertise over there. So if you want to build expertise, then CMA is a good call. But if you think you already know, or you can just read books, learn on your own, then CMA is not required. If your salary is there and your promotion is already in place, के हर 2-3 साल में promotion हो रहा है, CMA is not required. If you think anything is missing out of this, then you can take up CMA. Minor benefits जो होते हैं, and minor in terms of scope, but the payoff can be really good. ये होता है कि networking opportunities will open up. Let's say you get to travel outside India. Minor because less chance that you will travel outside India. But let's say if you happen to travel, then of course CMA has global acceptability, so there it would be helpful. Then volunteering or leadership opportunities are there, so that will be helpful. Volunteering or leadership, and so on. So you have this much benefits. You can take the call. Did this help, Gautam?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So specifically, if I'm asked about the finance roles, so is it definitely helpful, right, in CMA?
Yes. Within finance also, to give you more better idea, one is, as I said, reporting is one place. Second is FP&A is another place. Third is costing. Now costing, you won't believe, 2 days ago we had a refinery company based out of US. They have their accounting team sitting in India. The guy came in and said, Aditya, I need one engineer who has costing background of 2-3 years. We need a cost engineer. So costing is quite dynamic as a field. It is very difficult to generalize or outline a JD. There are opportunities. If you have some edge, if you know how to find good opportunities for you, there are there. So costing is there. Beyond costing, you will also have audit, internal controls. Then you have data analytics wale roles. Then you have corporate finance roles. You have equity research wale roles. Even though equity research very less, but you can enter. Then you have project financing roles. Then you have risk management roles. Then you have FinOps role. This can be product. This can be or any outsourced roles. More or less, when I say CMA, this is something can go. Chintamani, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, एक चीज, right now I'm at my early 40s. I do have experience of 15 plus years of experience. बट उसमें क्या है कि मैंने फाइनेंस का एक्सपीरियंस थोड़ा बहुत बैंकिंग में मेरा 2-3 साल का ही है. उसके बाद ड्यू टू मतलब सैलरी हाइक के लिए आई स्विच टू सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग. So I'm planning for CMA. So do I need to do only CMA or CMA ACCA or CMA CFA something like that? Even I watched that कि आपने पावर बीआई का आपका वीडियो देखा था रिगार्डिंग पावर बीआई और समथिंग लाइक दैट. So, which is beneficial, sir, because I'm from commerce background. I have done my BBA as well as international business management from Thames Valley University. तो finance आता है लेकिन अभी उतना टच में नहीं हूँ सर उसमें.
ठीक है. Can you also give me details about your experience? You mentioned you have 15 years of experience, but you shifted to sales and marketing. So how many years in initial experience?
इनिशियल बैंकिंग एक्सपीरियंस मुझे सर ज्यादा नहीं है. सो एस बैंक में आई वाज वर्किंग विद यस बैंक. इट्स नॉट मोर देन 2 years एक्चुअली. 18 महीने या 19 महीने का आसपास एक्सपीरियंस था. देन आई गॉट गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी इन सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग, तो मैं इसमें स्विच कर गया ड्यू टू पैकेज. सो उसी में मैं अभी तक आ रहा हूँ. मतलब राइट नाउ आई एम गेटिंग गुड पैकेज, बट मुझे फिनांस में फिर से वो डेवलप करना था. इवन आई वाज इन लंदन, तो वहाँ पे भी मैंने कुछ डेटा एंट्रीज का काम किया था इन फिनेंस सेक्टर। दैट इज पार्ट टाइम जॉब, दो कैलकुलेट नहीं होता।
ठीक है. Now, yours is an interesting case because I'll tell you how trajectory in finance, a typical trajectory works. See, usually first 2 to 3 years you are in a support role. इसे नॉन एनसीटी कहते हैं, नॉन कोर
राइट
टेक्निकल जूनियर लेवल रोल्स होते हैं. देन 3 to 6, 3 to 7, then you become core technical as a team lead or as a manager. And then 7 to let's say 12, 13, you are expected to take up people management role. And once after people management, then it depends कि transition projects and बाकी के कुछ changing projects वगैरह लेने हैं तो. Now, when you are coming in this category already, but your domain is not finance. Your domain now, major domain, 80-90% of your experience is into sales and marketing. So to jump from here to here, it is not easy. I'll be very honest, it is not easy. But if you are very much determined कि कुछ भी करके करना है, in that case, what you can do is CMA is one way to go. But after CMA, you might have to enter industry with assistant manager type of roles. So junior से 2-3 level ऊपर. That is because you have so much corporate exposure, and once I know more about you, I could tell you better. But this is my estimate that you can enter as assistant manager, which is usually given to someone with 4 to 5 years of experience. Your pay will take a hit. Your position might take a hit. But after spending additional 2 to 3 years, if you have some people management experience, we can leverage this and target roles where finance is just a base and major focus is around either running new projects, shifting projects, transferring projects, and so on. So this is one bet or one way to go ahead if you're very much determined through CMA. Other than this, there are some offbeat roles as well. I'll tell you one interesting story. There was a candidate with me,
So
8
currently
years
my designation is regional manager in steel industry.
regional manager in steel industry. Within steel industry, then we can target some of the roles which are more towards finance end. But that is again a bet because your probability changes. I'll stick to data because I want to be technically correct. See, if you're someone who matches the recipe, each job comes with a recipe called a job description. The more you match, better is your probability. So I can call it switch would be easy. The more you don't match, then that becomes difficult. Then it is never impossible, it becomes difficult. So in that case, we have to keep on, let's say an easy candidate will apply 100 applications and he'll convert, but for a difficult candidates, 500 applications will get you through. So this kind of determination, patience, effort, everything would come into picture. It's not impossible, difficult hai, and I've also given you real picture that your designation and pay can take a hit.
एक्चुअली हुआ था क्या सर, व्हेन आई वाज इन लंदन में जब जॉब कर रहा था तो ठीक ठाक मिल रहा था पे। इंडिया में आया तो फिर से स्टार्ट किया बैंक में, बट उस टाइम पे ऐसा यंग, बहुत ही यंग था, तो आई वाज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग उतना लो लो सैलरी एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहा था। तो आई स्विच टू सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग, जहाँ पे अच्छा खासा मुझे पैकेज मिल रहा था। सो वो कहाँ ना कहाँ तो वो सेंस रहता था, मतलब फिनांस छोड़ के मैंने पूरा इसमें क्यों शिफ्ट किया, वो वगैरह वगैरह। सो व्हेन आई केम टू नो अबाउट सीएमए सीपीए समथिंग लाइक दैट, तो मैंने सोचा कि फिर से क्यों ना इसी में किया जाए, क्योंकि अभी ग्लोबल ट्रेंड टुवर्ड्स इंजीनियर्स एज वेल एज इन अकाउंट बैकग्राउंड में वो ट्रेंड हो रहा है। आई एम लुकिंग ऑन दैट बेस।
Okay, you are correct around the trending part, but let's say I'm talking to you as if you are my brother now. See, with the kind of skill set you have, sales marketing in today's market is quite valuable. Why don't you give entrepreneurship a chance if you are really good at it? We can maybe sit over a coffee, discuss this. If you have any potential ideas, I can give you roadmap of it. Let's say CMA will be helpful in finance wala part, but entrepreneurship resembles, with sales and marketing. There's a one man who's building an entire organization. If you have any one person thought, feel free to come to Pune. We can sit and discuss. I don't know.
श्योर सर, श्योर।
Okay, yes.
ओके।
Okay. Yes, Anil, how can I help?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I have completed my part one of CMA US. I am currently preparing my
Yes.
part two. I have watched your video yesterday with regards with which you have uploaded about your work. And all.
ठीक है, आपने कोई तो
So
वीडियो देखा है मेरा. Yes.
हाँ ठीक है। सो मेरा भी आपके जैसा थोड़ा थोड़ा है। सो आई लाइक वर्क 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 ऐसा वाला एनवायरनमेंट था। सो आई लेफ्ट माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लास्ट वीक ओनली एंड सिंस लास्ट ईयर आई जस्ट वांटेड टू नो, कमिंग टू द पॉइंट, मुझे सीएमए पार्ट वन क्लियर करके 1 साल हो गया सर। ऐसा इज दैट रियली जॉब रोल्स इन सीएमए फॉर सीएमए यूएस? बिकॉज आई हैवंट रिसीव्ड अ सिंगल कॉल और इतना कुछ मुझे दिख भी नहीं रहा है। एंड व्हाट आई फील इज like it is just a marketing strategies, like people have बहुत over hype दे दिया है सीएमओ को, ऐसा लगता है मुझे, because I haven't, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, I haven't find a single role in finance yet, and I've completed my bachelor's with in accounting and finance only, master's also in accounting and finance only, and with regards to my experience, I have experience in BPOs of 2 to 3 years. But
Okay.
I haven't find any finance job. Even I'm CMA Part 1, I'm passed then.
Okay.
So,
So I can completely understand that, and you're not the one. There are multiple such cases, but let me shed some light on what realistic view is. Also, एक साल हो गया, पार्ट टू क्यों नहीं किया?
थोड़ा सा सर बाहर था और इन एंड आउट, मतलब नहीं हो पाया, मैं जॉब पकड़ लिया था मतलब.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
ठीक है. See, when it comes to CMA,
I'm
first of all,
full time now
yes.
doing Part 2, so September October में देने वाला हूँ.
Okay, got it. See, there's a simple roadmap of landing a job if you're taking the CMA pathway. One would be to complete your graduation. Along with graduation, make sure that your ACADs are good enough. Good enough matlab 10th, 12th, and graduation. Bare minimum you should have it's 60%. There are a lot of MNCs, lot of companies who have a strict filter. Okay, you have less than 60%, we won't be going ahead with you. Once the ACADS part is done, then comes the skills part. Skills parts may you have three things to be taken care of. One, through CMA, you will learn about finance. Second, you will learn about communication. Third part is knowing how to network. Now, let me tell you real picture of networking. Yeah, networking is more of an alternative of knowing how to find a job. How to find a job. And when it comes to finding a job, if you're someone who has applied for, let's say, 500 plus applications, and if you're not getting back even a single call, then sorry, there is something wrong in the method that you're following for applying jobs. Then you need to go back and check, is my CV correct? Is my CV as expected? Is my CV at the right space, having right format, having right data? Second, how am I applying? Am I applying through right methods, or am I applying at jobs which have been, let's say, closed already? 10-15 दिन हो गए open करके. Your CV will never show up. When you are, let's say, good in terms of creating CV, well versed how to apply, then you can expect some conversion. And I just had a word with a candidate 2 days ago. Self study करके CMA किया है Parul University से. He was there in our this thing. He has applied for 400, 500 jobs. And I said, if your method is correct, it is impossible that you're not getting a call back. He said, sir, आ गए call back. 4-5 interview भी दे चुका है. But he couldn't land a job. So next part is, do you know how to answer or articulate your answers? Second, if you know how to answer, are you doing something that will strike a wrong chord in the interview? And that was the main issue. He mentioned that, sir, I didn't convert last job because मैं salary negotiate कर रहा था. And I said, at a fresher's job, no one negotiates salary. And his response was कि जो YouTube videos में दिखता है average salary ये है वो मैंने quote कर दी थी. Now, for first 2 years of your career, you have to stay or look at yourself as a fresher who is into training period. If you are into training period, do you really are you in a position to ask for a salary, negotiate for a salary? No. First take experience, then move to a higher salary. Then you can actually justify that why you deserve that salary. But as a fresher, you don't know anything. या फिर 2-3 महीने 6 महीने हवा spend कर लिए, that is not considered as an experience. So to summarize the whole thing, in your case, I'm not aware आपने कितने companies को apply किया है. How many companies have you applied for?
ये तो
And
फिलहाल
I'm talking about legitimate applications. So जो easy apply button होता है LinkedIn वाला, not those kind of applications. Going on company's career portal, tracking all the openings, applying in time, and then reaching out through cold emails, LinkedIn referrals, those kind of applications. कितने apply किए हैं?
तो वैसा तो प्रॉपर मैंने हार्डली पहले किया था, मतलब जब मैंने पार्ट 1 क्लियर किया था, बट अभी याद नहीं कितना किया था, बट करता था मैं, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 1 महीना किया रहेगा. उसके बाद आई स्टॉप बिकॉज आई वाज नॉट गेटिंग एनी रिस्पांस और एनी कॉल्स.
No, that's also unrealistic timeline. Any CMA who completes CMA, ठीक है, I'm talking about both parts. 3 to 6 months is a realistic timeline. Within a month, I mean, मेरे पास 2-3 सर्टिफिकेट्स थे. Within a month, even I couldn't achieve callbacks. मेरा MBA होने के बाद भी after KPMG, when I was very fed up with KPMG, I tried applying outside. मुझे भी 2 महीने लगे थे callback आने के लिए. So 1 month is too short of a period. And second thing is, do reflect on your method of applying. क्योंकि any random candidate, average out of average, fresher BCom भी ले लिया. 500 जगह पे apply कर रहे हो, impossible that you won't get a call back. Okay, did that help?
Yes, sir. There would be something with my methods. I will definitely work upon. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
no problem. Maybe steps ahead would be watch few videos around how professional CVs are made. Second is there are a lot of now mentorship platforms. Look for a professional CV writer. I used to do this 2-3 years ago. अब ज़्यादा time नहीं मिलता है, so I've stopped doing it. Find a good professional CV writer. And third, start networking through LinkedIn. And fourth one, there is a video I had posted on how to find a job off campus. तो मैंने वहाँ पे I have shown that how Apollo can give you email IDs of HRs directly. So your cold emails will be taken care of. And second thing I've shown is how to apply through career portal. Company's own career portal is the best source to land an opening, to land any job. उसके बाद HR cold emails and of course referral तो सबसे आगे है. 3 most effective ways. Okay. ये नौकरी and Indeed, these are bit secondary. Go to career portal first. उसके बाद ये कीजिए. And also now this is a general note, not just to Anil. I mean, you are. Let's look at trajectory of a CMA candidate. You are ready to put in 6 months, where you study 2 to 3 hours a day. एक part हो जाएगा. Then you put in again 2 to 3 hours for 6 months. Part 2 हो जाता है. For that, after that rather, it is bare minimum expectation that you will put in 3 to 6 months again, where you will put in again 2 to 3 hours a day to find a job. Now this is only self-study candidates. जिनके पास placement assistance है, I am assuming that your institutes are doing this on behalf of you. But if you are someone who's self-studying, bare minimum expectation के at least spend 2 to 3 hours for 3 to 6 months because you have invested so much. Now is the time to get returns out of your investment. और तभी आप give up कर रहे हो. The jobs won't come to you. We live in a competitive market, so you have to go to the job. But what CMA does is CMA is now made you into an asset that you can sell in the market. के ठीक है, इसके लिए कुछ हम मांग सकते हैं market में. That's the thing. Next, Rehan, how can I help you?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, I am currently in my second year of BCom and recently given my Part 2 exam in June. So, my question is, which skills do I require along with my CMA to get internship at like good Big Four firms? So, yeah, since I am in college, so I think it's right time, second year, so internship. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll be brutally honest, Rehan. Internships is a tricky topic because internships in MNCs, very less chance that you will get internship in an MNC through an off-campus mode. Because imagine that usually when a company has a summer internship program, think from company's perspective. They know that we are getting in freshers. Freshers को ला रहे तो we need to train them. Now, when we need to train them, is it easy to hire single candidates and train them, or is it easy to hire in bulk and train them? It is always easy to hire in bulk. So what MNCs do? Okay, right answer. So what MNCs do? MNCs go to colleges, and if you ask me, colleges like SRCC हो गया, या फिर पुणे में Symbiosis is quite famous. We have BMCC which is quite famous, and here companies show up to hire interns in bulk, और फिर bulk में लेके जाके they train them and get them operational. If you're someone who's trying off campus, so luck needs to play a factor, which did in my case. I was applying continuously every day, wake up to spend 2-3 hours on LinkedIn, keep on applying. तो वैसे मुझे क्रिजल में मिल गया था. But when I got in, I got to know that they already had a 3-month program where they had hired from colleges. अब क्या हो गया था? 3 months got over, but the project was still there. And some of the candidates said, we don't want to continue your internship. So then new openings had come up, and here they were open to hire off campus because ये additional 2 महीने का project चलने वाला था. So if you go and check my CRISIL का internship, it is there only for 2 months, means 1 month and few days. Why? It was an extension period where the college hiring was done, and luckily I got that position. So if I talk about internship in MNCs, 90% of the internships are given to campus candidates, MBA या फिर top tier commerce candidates. 10% chance है, उसके लिए you have to put in insane amount of efforts. उसके लिए keep an eye on internship program openings. Okay, whenever any company has internship program, they have a press release update आ जाता है. For that you need to follow them on social medias. Go and follow, let's say Goldman Sachs, CRISIL, EY, Barclays, इनके सारे pages. Go and like them. Whenever you see an update that summer internship program is live, please apply. You can go and apply. Not an issue. ये हो गया MNCs का. Now coming to startups or boutique firms where you can actually have a realistic expectations. Now here, even this is what I'm building, but this takes time. So we have few boutique firms in my contact which are into advisory and consultancy. And once any candidate is, let's say, completed his CMA part 1, part 2 both, I'm in favor कि आप दोनों करके ही job market में उतरो. एक करके you start working night, it messes up with your productivity, study pattern, everything. So once both parts are over, this is where you can apply, and on a fair basis, you can also get a call back, because boutique firms need candidates, startups need candidate, and they don't have any filters as such. कोई भी चल जाता है, on campus, off campus. They always need candidates. So this would be a better way to apply. And go ahead.
Thank you, sir. But my question is, which skills are required to get big firms?
Skills.
So I'm thinking about which skills.
So जो typical to make you employable, learn basic Excel. Now internship के लिए I'm highlighting only very basic stuff. Excel, Power BI, and ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा Tableau. That's the max level. This is more than enough, because as a fresher, you're expected to be a fresher. It's not like a 18, 19-year-old. We have a complete candidate. So just complete this and rely on on-job training. On-job training. And as a profile built up, 4H has, or 4H, whatever, has few virtual programs. You can complete those virtual internship programs. Itna kar diya, to you'll also get some real life context of how things are. Complete this, start applying, and see how it works out.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sir, I have two last questions. Can you ask?
I have a lot of hands pending. Okay, Naman, quick fire. Yeah, quick fire
Sir,
round
what's,
karte. Yes. Yes.
sir, what is your views on CMA US plus CPA plus CFA? If someone do job after graduation and study with the job.
Okay. See, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of multiple certification unless you want to be a teacher. Teacher बनना है तो जितने करो उतना अच्छा. See, CMA can get you a job, so that's good enough. CFA can get you a job, plus the combination will help you build expertise. But beyond this, I mean, it's like you are putting yourself into multiple directions. One person, imagine it in this way: आप coding भी सीख रहे हो, आप finance भी सीख रहे हो, आप HR भी सीख रहे हो, आप marketing भी सीख रहे हो. Unless you're an entrepreneur, you won't be doing everything, right? When you're in a job, working in an MNC, you are asked to do one job, and usme you are supposed to build expertise. So this is giving you one direction. But now you want to take yourself into another direction. Well and good. But I mean, I don't see any downside in this. I see downside in terms of your efforts. See, you are pursuing 3 professional certifications, so insane amount of effort will be put in. But in terms of utilization, you will have some intention, or आपकी ख्वाहिश रहेगी कि जितना सीखा है, I get to use that. That will never happen. If you get into reporting, you will use whatever learned in CMA, CPA. If you get into equity research, you will learn whatever you have. I mean, you will use whatever you have learned in CMA and CFA. So CPA sideline हो जाएगा. So good to have, but itna कि you will be putting in so much efforts and you won't get to utilize it. That's it. But in terms of having plan B, plan C, plan D, good. Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Ganesh.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, I'm a BCom graduate. I'm pursuing a US CMA qualification. Like, I would like to ask, what are the best job roles or industries I should target while pursuing US CMA? And
See,
also,
job.
the question,
Yes.
like in my resume, sir, like pursuing US CMA, is there any increases to chance with the recruiters?
Yes, US CMA does increase your chances, and specifically target a few companies where US CMA is highly recognized. There's a video I have made, okay, top 10 firms hiring US CMA. EA Sports है, IHG Hotels is there, Hewlett Packard, we have so many alumni over there, DXC Technology वगैरह. वैसे companies को target करो, you have better probability of converting. But job roles, Ganesh, I have highlighted in the first 10-15 minutes or half an hour of the session. But I'll highlight top 3. FP&A, controller roles, or controller के साथ I can also add due diligence role, and then accounts closing roles or regulatory reporting roles. Let me just keep it reporting roles. Also, let me make it 5. In traditional setup, mainly product based setup, you will also see costing based roles. And lastly, you will see general non-core technical roles, which are analyst roles and associate roles. This could be of any team where you need basics of finance, you can go and support. Coming to sectors or industries, that was an interesting question. In terms of sectors, now again, biased answer, but here is how I would look at it. See, in terms of sectors, see sectors which are kind of ever growing. कि कुछ भी हो जाए, tech वेक आ जाए, growth as a hindrance नहीं है. For me, my favorite is pharma. No matter what happens, pharma is growing at its own pace. COVID के time पे तो we saw exponential growth. After that, some correction, but pharma is an evergreen. So I would say pharma. After that, a lot of candidates from FinStreet are actually getting placed in something called as CFO virtual services offices. Virtual services. This is quite trending from last few years. मतलब पहले भी था, but somehow I see a sudden boom that a lot of startups and even companies abroad, they are shifting their CFO services to, let's say, few experts. So here you get clients which are different startups, companies, and you take care of their finance end to end. For example, I'll give you my example. Chalo, let's say I'm running FinStreet, but I don't want to let's manage finance on my own. So I'll hire a CFO virtual service. They will take care of my audit, P&L creation, everything end to end. So this is second one. Third would be any other. CMA is a sector agnostic. Any company that manages finance professionally, the word professionally being highlighted, target these companies. And you have a long list. Even if you target top 1,000 companies which are listed in India, that's a good place to start. Or all the US based companies which are operating in India or place of your choice. Let's say if you want to work in Bangalore, do a simple Google search, not even Google, go on Perplexity now. You do a Perplexity search, ask for all US based companies located in Bangalore. Once you have the list, start researching that. Do they have their finance team in Pune? Not Pune, Bangalore. Once you get to see any openings while doing this research, make an Excel sheet of all such openings and start applying. So as simple as that.
Sir, would you recommend that I mention like pursuing US CMA on my resume to increase my chances with recruiters?
Yes, do mention pursuing US CMA or US CMA candidate. Anything would work. This will increase
Thank you.
chances. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, last couple of questions. I'm sorry, chat वाले तो रह ही गए. अच्छा, let me just check. प्रथम.
सर एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि सर मैंने 3 साल जो भी एक्सपीरियंस किया है मैंने, मतलब जो मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर की जो जॉब थी सीएफओ में, वो मैंने जूनियर लेवल पे किया। फिर जो मैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में था वो भी एज अ जूनियर कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट मैंने काम किया हुआ है। और अभी मैं एज अ यूएस अकाउंटिंग में एज अ अकाउंट असिस्टेंट काम करता हूँ। तो सर मुझे एज अ सीनियर लेवल पे
अच्छा.
जाना हो तो उसके लिए एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए होगा कि या फिर जूनियर लेवल का चलेगा सर?
Okay, so to better understand your question, you mean आप accounting में हो and आपको finance में जाना है. How to make this shift? Oh, got
Yes.
it. ठीक है. See, within finance also, what kind of finance are you targeting? Again, you are already part of something called as business finance, जहाँ पे accounting is a major focus, but okay, I can understand आपको core accounting से FP&A में आना है. So for this, you just build on experience because FP&A is a critical role, usually not given to freshers. But sit with your management, tell them that you want to move into FP&A, and they will give you a roadmap. If you on your own want to do it, start applying directly. क्योंकि 2-3 साल का experience है, even at a junior level, it is fine. You can now target FP&A roles. That's good enough. Second, if you're talking about investment management, something like, let's say, corporate finance, valuation rules and others, then इसके लिए tweak your CV a little. ठीक है, experience थोड़ा tweak करना पड़ेगा. Along with that, add financial modeling to your this thing. Add some basic certifications of valuation and all. ये tweak करके you can also target corporate finance roles.
सर मैंने अभी jobbaaz.com जो है उसमें से मैंने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट फाइनेंशियल और मॉडलिंग के 2 सर्टिफिकेट लिए हुए हैं सर। और बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका का मैंने अभी इन्वेस्टमेंट एनालिसिस का भी 3 महीने का कोर्स किया था सर।
Great. Then that's a good start. I think if you have done that, make your CV. You can also send it to me for review. Once review is done, I think you can start applying. I don't mind.
सर एक और क्वेश्चन था कि सर बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि यूएससीए में जो है वो प्रॉपरली मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग का मतलब पार्ट इसमें आता है। तो और सर मैंने 3 साल जो काम किया है मैंने वो पूरा मतलब जनरल अकाउंटिंग, कॉस्टिंग और फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग उसमें काम किया है। तो सर ये यूएससीए में मतलब का वर्क करेगा अगर मैं इन फ्यूचर कोई भी अगर जॉब करूंगा तो?
ठीक है. So to answer your first question, yes, that is the reality. Even though CMA के पास finance का knowledge होता है, major CMAs end up in FP&A या management accounting, where internal finance या business finance ही देखा जाता है. So, when someone comes to me and tells me, sir, investment bank में जाना है, equity research में जाना है, or anything related to stock market, I clearly say that even though CMA learns about stock market, not necessarily you will land a job that is related to stock market. So that part is correct. Okay, not necessarily you will land any capital market side wala job, even though you will have the knowledge. Second, is it impossible? No. I was able to do it. A lot of other candidates were also able to do it. I think in my first podcast, we have a CMA, right? Pooja. She's just CMA with MCOM and she's working in risk completely into capital markets. So it is not impossible, but probability wise you are correct यार. Majorly सब management accountant में ही जाते हैं, जहाँ पर expectation is you will become CFO of a company 10-15 years down the line. So if you like that trajectory, take it. Finance में आना है, you can enhance your profile. Multiple ways of enhancing your profile there.
और सर वहाँ पे तो सीएफओ की पहले से जो सीएफओ की जो कंपनी होती है उसमें पहले से सीएफओ की पूरी टीम होती है और सीएमए की भी टीम होती है। तो सर ऐसी मतलब कौन सी 2-3 स्किल है सर्टिफिकेशन के अलावा कि एज अ सीएफओ हम उनको कंप्लीट कर पाए मतलब एज अ नॉलेज?
Okay. So in terms of skill, learning CMA is good foundation. इसके ऊपर build करना है, then experience has its own value. Now, if you ask me, Aditya, tell me a skill 2 साल में सीख के I want to compete with them. No, CFO की team है. Either it will be IIT IIM graduates, high aptitude, high skill set, very competitive. That is one part. Second part is 10 साल का 8 साल का experience होगा. Then only they make it to CFO office. So my answer would be, if you have CMA and you are clear about becoming a CFO, this is the trajectory you should ideally take up. A very efficient one. But again, not a general. This is something I think would be best. Chalo, 0 to 2 years you spent on pursuing CMA and basic experience. After this, here you build expertise. So pick a role, controller banna hai and FPN. These two roles, if you crack it, well and good. 2 to 7 years of experience, spend it over here. Once you have, let's say, 5 to 7 years of experience, in Indian market, unfortunately, IIM tag is still valued. So when I was in Deutsche Bank, our Jason Hell एक हमारे managing director थे. The guy who was next to Jason Hell was a graduate from SP Jain. SP Jain from Mumbai, SP JMI जो है. Again, at par with IIMs. When I was working with FIS, our director was IIT graduate. When I moved to KPMG, again, our director was Europe के किसी top college का graduate was there. So these tags do help when you have 5 to 7 years of experience and you're targeting a CFO role after this. I would say executive MBA कर लो, get a tag, and then the CFO looks more realistic. Or else, within your job, excel at something that is phenomenal. No one can touch that. कि बहुत बड़ा project US से India लेके आए या बहुत बड़ा client crack किया है, something like that, and you'll be in the race for CFO. But yeah, CMA cannot. It prepares you for CFO, but the competition is so intense कि वो कम पड़ जाता है. That's the takeaway.
और सर अभी मैं जो यूएस अकाउंटिंग में जॉब कर रहा हूँ, तो वो सर यूएस सीएमए के लिए मतलब बेनिफिशियरी है, या फिर मैं मूव कर जाऊँ कोई किसी और कंपनी में?
It is beneficiary, but don't stick around. एक 2 साल maximum spend करना, move out. Ideally 1 is enough, 2 years more than enough.
मतलब 1.5 साल जैसा तो हो गया.
1 year is enough, 2 years more than enough. Okay? ठीक है.
ओके.
चलो. Yes, go ahead.
हेलो.
Yes, Mangesh.
सर मंगेश, सर मैं एक्चुअली अर्ली 40s हूँ और सीएस कोर्स के फाइनल की एग्जाम दी है और सीएमए इंडिया भी फाइनलिस्ट हूँ. लेकिन मैं पिछले 10-12 साल से कॉर्पोरेट कंसल्टेंट, जैसे कि प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनीज का इनकॉर्पोरेशन, आरओसी कंप्लायंसेस, इसमें मैं काम कर रहा हूँ एज अ कंसल्टेंट फ्रीलांसर. लेकिन ये जो काम हो रहा है अभी मोनोटोनस हो गया है, मेरे पास स्टाफ भी है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं फाइनेंस अच्छा कर सकता हूँ. तो मेरे 2 क्वेश्चन है सर, कि अभी मैं यूएससीए में करूँ तो आगे जाके मुझे फ्रीलांसिंग में अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, या फिर मेरा जो कोर कंपनीज एक्ट का नॉलेज है, जो कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के साथ में जो करता हूँ, वो मुझे यूएससीए में या फिर इंडियन सीए में करने के बाद जॉब में उसका कुछ एडेड एडवांटेज मिलेगा? ये 2 चीजें मुझे पूछनी थी सर.
Okay. So, how long have you been doing this? 10 साल, right?
Since 2013.
13. Okay. A little more than 10 years. Okay. मैं आपको थोड़ा सा फिर एक unfiltered opinion देता हूँ. See, your experience is completely offbeat. जो corporates में चलता है versus what you are doing. You have a very specific skill set, which is good. But corporates are more obsessed around how to draft SOPs, how processes work, how performance works, and overall. इसका formula थोड़ा अलग होता है. You work in a bit different setup. So your experience will be tested during your interview. और मैं कितना भी बढ़िया CV बना के, if I land you in front of an interviewer, within 5-10 minutes, it will be like, a done deal. So
Yeah.
यहाँ पर you asked me about freelancing. I'm very happy about that कि you are going in the right direction. But वहाँ पर again the things are changing. अगर आप 5-6 साल पहले मुझे पूछते, I would have said yes, definitely go for it. आँख बंद करके do US CMA, QuickBooks सीख लो, 2-3 और सॉफ्टवेयर से सीख लो, Oracle का NetSuite वगैरह सीख लो, accounting का, and you're all sorted. But again, for last 2-3 years, I have seen because of AI, mainly because of AI, and also some issues between software companies and US regulations, freelancing का scope थोड़ा कम हो गया, but it has not disappeared at all. कम हो गया है. So that is one way to go ahead with. Second is, आपने क्या पूछा था? हाँ, if you get
Companies
into job.
जी.
See, you have spent so much time on becoming CS and Indian CMA. एक sunk cost का fallacy तो होता है कि चलो I've spent 10 years, why not one more? शायद उसी की वजह से it might have been extended. But if you are confident कि if you take dedicated 6 months, leave everything aside and just focus on that, clear it, then you can start your own consultancy. If you're not able to do that, then freelance in financing can be a good plan B. But एक last, आप satisfy हो जाओगे, ऐसा एक last attempt दे दो, then move on from Indian courses. For US CMA courses or other consultancy, we can sit and discuss how to take it ahead. But there is scope, don't worry.
Yes, मैं अगले वीक में आपको पुणे में आके मिलता हूँ सर. आई एम फ्रॉम औरंगाबाद.
Done, चलेगा, आ जाइए.
थैंक यू सर।
No problem. Chalo, I'll quickly wrap up the list. Last two, Ashish and then Shahid. Ashish, go ahead.
हेलो सर।
Hello.
हाँ
बताइए।
सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, जो आईएमए करियर सेंटर की वेबसाइट है
हम्म।
उसमें सर जो मोस्ट ऑफ द जॉब पोस्ट हुए इंडिया में वो लोग सीपीए और एमबीए और सीए मांगते हैं। और सीएमए, अगर हम सीएमए का फिल्टर यूज करते हैं तो उसमें भी इंडियन सीएमए आते हैं। इसकी जगह हम यूएस की जगह जाते हैं, उसमें तो सीएमए सीपीए की कमी नहीं, वहाँ पे सर बहुत जॉब्स अवेलेबल। लेकिन इंडिया में सर आईएमए करियर सेंटर की वेबसाइट में थोड़ी कम है।
आई कम्प्लीटली अग्री विथ यू। और मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता, ये जो पर्दे के पीछे मेरा एक फाइट चलता रहता है IMA एंड अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ। सी, earlier there was different management. Abhi ka management is somewhat new, somewhat old. So with old management I had very good relations. I used to sit with them, discuss everything, this thing, that thing, and they were going in the right direction. They were planning to fix it, or at least they had taken my feedback. Not necessary that they agreed, but time and again I've highlighted ke why are there non-CMA openings on IMA portal, and the response that I get is the IMA career portal is somewhat like LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri, where any company can collaborate with IMA and then post any job. तो वैसे करने के बाद क्या हुआ है कि यूएस में मेजोरिटी लेट्स से सीपीए दे आर हायरिंग, सो सीपीए जॉब्स आ गए, एमबीए फाइनेंस चाहिए, एमबीए जॉब्स आ गए, सो दोस काइंड ऑफ जॉब स्टार्टेड शोइंग अप. After this, what happened when I went back and said to IMA, okay, boss, we need placement support. They have a very standard lens of looking at things because it is only Indian market where placement assistance is such a big thing. But if you go outside India, US, UK, Middle East, कहीं पर भी जाओ, CMA is just a learning tool that someone wants to learn, they will come and learn and they will equip themselves. India may, because there is not simple hyper competitiveness in terms of finding a job, the whole onus of learning shifts to can you get me placed. That's the, I don't know, sad but realistic part of it. So isliye in India you will see all the institutions like FinStreet and others. He will step up and say we will take care of placement assistance, don't worry, but you can go ahead with US CMA. So to answer your concern, yes, IMA portal open hai, उन्होंने वैसे रखा है, and because of that now we have stepped up to take care of placement assistance. So jobs hai, and they are targeted differently because IMA doesn't go, they have limited, their network is growing but currently it is limited. So limited network में we internally get emails के यहाँ पे openings है, apply कीजिए, वहाँ पर openings है, apply कीजिए. Even if I make a call tomorrow to IMA, Vianza takes care of our region, Fenil is there. If someone is struggling really and I highlight, hey, I want to get this person placed, within 2 days they'll help me out. So Indian ecosystem depends on placement assistance, but in terms of getting changed anything from US, that's a hassle. So we will take care of it. Or यहाँ पर भी don't look for CMA, just target FP&A jobs or jobs that match your JD with whatever you have learned. You can get your CV shortlisted. Okay, I don't know I will be able to put this online or not. I hope IMA folks, dear folks, don't get offended. But yeah, Ashish, I hope that answers your question regarding IMA portal.
Yes sir, thank you.
Last, Shahid.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, my question was regarding CMA and ACCA in the field of in the geography of Middle East. The Middle East में CMA और ACCA का क्या मतलब scope है job scope? Because as far as I have researched, ज़्यादा scope ACCA का in comparison to CMA. And second question was regarding कि why are people opting for completing first part 2 in CMA, then part 1? Because I don't know, I don't understand the reason behind it, and I know you are going to make a video on this also, but क्या आप अभी भी इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर कर सकते हो? एंड थर्ड क्वेश्चन वाज कि एआई का थ्रेट इसमें कितना होगा सीएमए के जॉब रोल्स में?
इन हैंड सीटीसी कितना होगा सीएमए के रोल में? ठीक है, आई कैन आंसर दी सीटीसी पार्ट फॉर इंडियन मार्केट. मिडल ईस्ट वुड बी डिफिकल्ट, बट मैं चलो मिडल ईस्ट का रियलिटी बताता हूँ. सी, इन मिडल ईस्ट यू हैव कंपनीज मेजरली फ्रॉम यूएस इन्फ्लुएंस रादर देन UK or Europe. So I wouldn't agree with your data. And as I said, data different hota hai. My sample would be different, your sample would be different. But if I talk about Middle East market, majorly I've observed CMA being recognized, not just recognized, even getting demand. My third or fourth student in FinStreet was from Oman. Again, Middle East part. So Middle East से काफी students है हमारे पास. They are working in CMA. They're very happy because they have prospects in front of them. कि CMA complete करके I'll be getting placed over here. That is answer to your first question. ACCA or CMA in Middle East, CMA would be better. One more reason. See, CMA versus ACCA. What is different? Within CMA curriculum, if you add UK laws, UK tax, UK reporting, and some other regulatory part, audit वगैरह का part, you get ACCA. Now the question is there any use of this in Middle East? A big no. Middle East had no taxes. अभी थोड़े बहुत taxes introduce हुए हैं, वो भी quite simple to compute. So fundamentally, I mean, just using your simple logic, this would be a better call in terms of effort and both investment for Middle East market as compared to ACCA. That's first part. Second part, you had asked me CTC. So CTC would be same as I had highlighted, less than 2 years of experience. Let me take total CTC, फिर मैं in hand बताता हूँ. So this would be 3 to 6 or better scale would be now 4 to 6. जहाँ पे in hand can be somewhere between let's say 32,000 to even 45 to 50,000. It depends on company's deduction policies and a number of things. 2 to 5 years of experience, consider 6 to 10. ये usually 8 होता है, but 6 to 10 is a better representation of data. And इसमें you can again expect between 50K to let's say even 70, 75K. And then you have more than 5 years of experience where I'm expecting कि चलो 10 से 15 तक का पैकेज आ जाएगा. And here I'm expecting more than ₹1 lakh in your hand. The moment your CTC crosses 14 lakh, in hand 1 lakh से ज़्यादा हो जाता है after deductions and everything. But again, it keeps on changing. Company to company बहुत differentiate करता है. Like in FIS, I had something called as quarterly bonus. So monthly it was very less. Quarterly अचानक से बड़ा number आता था. And every quarter I used to get 100% bonus. वो बस नाम के लिए रखा था, floating and fixed अलग-अलग. But रहता है, depends on company on what kind of deductions they have. You can't predict. So Shahid, I think I've answered your 2 questions. I missed out on third. Can you please repeat that?
यस सर सर तीसरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि पार्ट 2 लोग क्यों कर रहे हैं पार्ट 1 के
Oh.
रिगार्डिंग, मतलब पहले और मतलब कि अभी अगर फरवरी तक मतलब दोनों पार्ट क्लियर करना है.
See, that depends on capacity, and capacity हर एक की अलग होती है. So I won't comment के will you be able to do both parts or not. Anyone who comes to me saying, sir, I want to do both parts, I have a very simple suggestion. Join any part, study for 2 weeks, show me how much you can progress, what kind of accuracy you are getting, what kind of understanding you are having. If you are at 100% accuracy or even more than 80% plus accuracy, pursue both parts together. Nothing like it. But if you're not getting that much level of accuracy, then उतना capacity नहीं है. And why to risk unnecessarily? Then my suggestion would be go one part at a time, but it's a suggestion. दोनों part साथ में करना है तो करो. I won't hold you back. Second, why part 2 for पहले किया जाता है first priority as compared to part 1. Let's talk about the technicalities in part 2. Part 2 comes from capital markets, which is finance. Finance comes in from logic, जो economics में proven है, and logic is always easy to remember. When we talk about formulas derived out of logic, you don't have to mug them up. You remember them easily. You know the logic. You don't even need formula. You can just use numbers and calculate. But when I talk about part 1, this is accounts. What is accounts? Accounts are rule-based system. Do rules have logic? Yes and no both. They have assumption-based logic. And when you have assumption-based logic, कि कुछ assume करके logic बना है, then you have to memorize it. Once you have to memorize it, then it becomes tough, especially in a generation where your screen time is 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. Not specific to you, Shai, but in general. I have students in my class जिनका screen time is 5 hours and 7 hours. They come to me saying कि sir याद नहीं रहता है कुछ. Of course नहीं रहेगा. That because you are distracted so much because of social media. And second thing, part 1 has external reporting. So some part of IFRS is there, some part of US GAAP is there, and some part of costing is there. Now students who come in from non-CA background, they find this part and overall this part a bit effortful, कि ज़्यादा effort लगता है, memorize करना है, याद रखना है. Similar to that, over here, you don't have much to memorize. Ethics में there is some part you have to memorize, but it is very easy. So comparatively, if I talk about part 1 and part 2 can be said as easier than part 1. And now behavioral aspect, we know what is easy, we know what is difficult, and utna zyada nahi, but 10-20% easier, not more than that. But from your behavioral aspect, what happens is, if you pursue something that is easy, you complete, and you see yourself ke chalo, I'm 50% into the journey, which is completed. This boosts confidence. Not just confidence, you are well aware कि अच्छा what is required to pass an exam such as US CMA. Once you know that you can pass part 2, who is stopping you from completing part 1? Now you know the formula, you know the recipe, you can complete your task. So with that sentiment, doing easy, gaining confidence, being more disciplined, aware about the preparation part, you can enter part 1 and carry on the momentum. You have built a momentum of study, now carry it on for part 1 as well. That's why part 2 is taken before than part 1. Shahid, have I answered your question?
यस सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर एआई का थ्रेट कितना है इसमें सीएमए के जॉब रोल्स में?
AI का threat, to be honest, AI is अभी तो मैं it would not sound very reasonable, but for now the threat isn't real. अभी AI बहुत बेसिक चीजें कर रहा है, अभी वो एडवांस चीजें कर पाएगा या नहीं, that's a completely different topic. The estimate is yes, 5 years down the line, the work would look different. Work would look different, roles would look different, but roles जाएंगे, jobs कम होंगे to some extent, not a lot, but हाँ, roles would look different. So from our end, pursue CMA and make sure that you keep yourself updated with whatever is happening in AI. Once you keep yourself updated, whatever new role comes up, you can crack that. But ज़्यादा नहीं, tentative 20-30%, but that's a guesstimate. Okay.
और सर अगर अभी स्टार्ट करेंगे सीएमए पार्ट 2 का प्रिपरेशन तो क्या अक्टूबर अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर करना पॉसिबल है?
It depends यार, मतलब I'll give you my example. I had already done FRM का one part, and I had studied a lot in terms of finance, research paper वगैरह. So for me, 3 months were enough. But once you start studying, then you get to know, okay, this is my level and this much time is enough. I don't know what's your background, so it would be crude or a bit immature of me to just say, okay, 3 months are enough, 6 months are enough. Average 4 to 5 months are enough. So someone who's coming to me, I'll give them an average. कि अभी start कर रहे हो, your preparation will be over by December, January में दे दो. But if you think you don't fall into an average candidate, आपका background अच्छा है, you're a CA dropout, you have tried some other exams, NISM and CFM, 7-8 exam दे चुके हो, now you think you can go and crack it in 2 months, 3 months, give it a try. Who's holding you back?
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Okay. Yes. चलो guys, it's past 8:38, तो हम almost 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा Q&A कर चुके हैं. I think let's wrap it up. And I'll conduct one more session soon. Then we'll talk. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And really sorry for all the questions I couldn't answer today, but I'll answer them soon. Thank you.